Hi everyone, this is Kalyan Kumar this side and welcome back to Chemistry Universe. This is video number 11, the second last video of carbohydrates, and this is the last set of polysaccharides. We'll do glycogen and cellulose. Very short video. It is just important to learn the structure and the properties of these two, and there are not that many. So let's get the ball rolling. Alright, so video number 11, polysaccharides, glycogen and cellulose. Let's start with glycogen. Just let's start, same formula, but different types of units. Now, glycogen is found in nearly all animal cells, occurring mainly in the liver. Basically, glycogen is that which is the storage form of glucose. The body stores excess glucose in the form of glycogen, and that is converted by insulin. The insulin converts the glucose into glycogen and stores it in the liver, and when required, the glucose is brought back into the blood, converted into glucose to provide energy. It is a reserve carbohydrate of animals and so is often known as animal starch. Glycogen is a white powder soluble in water. The solution gives a purplish red color with iodine. We'll see all of that. On hydrolysis with dilute acid, glycogen ends up giving D-glucose, which is why it's a storage of glucose. The molecular weight of glycogen has been given as around 10 to 50,000. And glycogen contains highly branched chains. And glycogen has a structure similar to amylopectin, except that it has more cross-linking. So just like amylopectin, you saw there were branches occurring. Here there are multiple branches. That means top branch and bottom branch, you have multiple cross-linking happening. So that is what is glycogen. So now let's look at cellulose. Cellulose. Cellulose is colorless solid, insoluble in water and organic solvents. But it is soluble in ammoniacal cupric hydroxide. We call it the Schwartz reagent, or in concentrated HCl. And cellulose is the regular straight chain polymer of beta-D glucopyranose units, in which C1, C4 glycosidic linkages are present. And that would mean that all the hemiacetal linkages are gone. So basically it looks like this. This is your beta-D glucopyranose, and this is the other glucose, the other unit. And so basically what happens is I'm going to flip this so that I can show the linkage, and it becomes like this. Just look at it. Originally it was this. As you remember, beta-D implies the anomeric O is on top, which it is. Now this is also top O and this is also top O. So I'm just bringing one O bottom by flipping it. So all I'm doing is flipping this and then bringing it closer, and one of the O goes as water, and you will find acetal linkage. So all the hemiacetal O's have become acetals now. So that's what happens in this. And then of course further chains would just repeat themselves up and down, because this anomeric was gone up. So I'm just drawing the other C4 like this. So it's not a problem. So, and cellulose on hydrolysis produces almost 96% D-glucose. And the number of monomer units would vary from 1000 to 1500. And just like starch, it doesn't show any muta-rotation, obviously, because no hemiacetal part. It's a non-reducing sugar because, as I said, there is no hemiacetal part. And that completes the polysaccharides, glycogen, and glucose. So another short video on this. And so 11 videos are over. And the last video that we're going to do would be on the test of carbohydrates. And that's going to be a little longish video because I'm going to show you, not only teach you and give you all the reaction of every test, but also demonstrate the experimental technique that is used and how it looks like. How does each of those tests actually appear to be in the lab? So we're going to show that. So this is Kalyan Kumar signing off. Have a great and wonderful day, and thank you for watching this.